All right, folks, welcome to Inside Liberia. As you may be informed that, few of our media colleagues in Rivers County have been facing some legal issue with the magisterial court there. But the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Mr. Kanubah, has released some press statement, but we're fortunate to get him to expand on issues concerning media colleagues in Rivers County. Mr. Kanubah, welcome to the media.
It is a pleasure to form part of the important platform at this particular time.
We saw a lot of, statement coming out all over, but it was taken into consideration as relevant when you, as the president of the Press Union of Liberia, posted it on a page. And you talk about two of our media colleagues be detained. But then since Saturday, we want to know, where are we now with this case?
Well, the latest is that the two journalists are to appear before the Yapa Town Magisterial Court in Rivers County. And this is the genesis of the matter. On the 11th of August, the two journalists in question, Eric Opado and Metusula Gay, they published an information using social media platforms and their broadcast media entity, linking the Yapa Town Magisterial Court to bribery and to the release of a drug suspect who is a police officer. So on the basis of that information that they published, the court cited them or charged them with criminal contempt of court. So on the 13th of August, our colleague Eric Opado was served an arrest warrant, and he was arrested, taken to the Yapa Town Magisterial Court in Rivers County. In fact, there's a picture online where he was handcuffed. So while he was there, he got free later because prominent people within the community signed for him. And then on the 14th of August, a day later or day after, another journalist, Metusula Gay, was arrested in Cestus City, Rivers County, on the order of the Cestus Magisterial Court on grounds that a police officer named one Ojuku Weeks took a matter to court on criminal coercion. So he was arrested. So we see this, these two, cases as some form of coordinated, attack or campaign that are aimed at, harassing, intimidating, and silencing journalists in Rivers County. These journalists did a publication, and criminal coercion on our law, it exists, but there is also another law, the Kamara Act of Press Freedom. It decriminalizes free speech offenses in Liberia. We also have what we call the Declaration of Table Mountain. Liberia acceded to that particular declaration. Liberia committed to that declaration, and that declaration, it effectively decriminalizes criminal defamation. So why is it that actors, both state and judicial actors, are using laws within the judiciary to undermine press freedoms within the country? And we should say this publicly. Our colleagues admitted that, yes, the police officer in question was not the one who was freed by the court or who was arrested. So they did retraction of the story. So with that, why keep embarrassing them with criminal coercion charge? And today they are appearing at the Yapa Town Magisterial Court for contempt of court. And that also is a criminal offense, which of course has been decriminalized. But then the court said they have a right to hold people since the contempt and the charge has not been decriminalized. So the Press Union believes that some sort of a coordinated campaign is taking place to harass, intimidate, and silence the journalists. So we are calling on judicial and state actors in Rivers County to uphold the rule of law through due process, to also safeguard freedom of speech and expression, and respect the press as an essential pillar of democracy within our country.
Thank you. We heard you. We don't know if you are got in contact with the relevant authority talking about the judiciary, because you the head for all the journalists. Before you speak, you may have reached out to people who are attached with this issue? Have you reached to the communication department of the judiciary to know exactly what is ongoing currently with these people?
What I would say is that we reached out to the relevant actors,
Right.
Including lawyers, to help us to intervene, to ensure that judicial power is not abused in Liberia, to ensure that journalists are not arrested on the basis of the publication that they do. If they publish a false, fake story, you have a right, to reply. Reply is that you must be able to provide the facts to these journalists so that they can be able to publish. So like you were here, you sat for almost, I think, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We'll be in touch with our colleagues in Rivers County, but also with judicial actors to ensure that they uphold the rule of law and that they respect freedom of the press within the country. And like I said, no journalist who commits ethical breaches should be jailed, right? But also we don't tolerate people committing ethical breaches within our profession. That is why we are calling on all judicial actors, all Liberian citizens. Whenever a journalist ethically transgresses, we are on an obligation to informing the Press Union of Liberia. We can subject the journalists to investigation, and if they are found wrong, they can be sanctioned by the PUL. But it is not to use the existing laws to somehow handcuff people, send them to jail when these people should be doing their work.
Lastly, over 22 years now, knowing ourselves as members of the Press Union of Liberia, we have been on Clay Street, but then we saw that the staff, they're working to try parking things for relocation. What is the information in there? Quickly.
It is unfortunate you did not attend the last membership meeting. You'll be fined for that.
Okay.
On August the 8th, we held a mass membership meeting at the PUL to inform the union members about different activities we've undertaken since October 2024. So one of the activities is about the relocation of our present head office or headquarters. We've been on Clay Street, like you rightly said, for about 23 years. So I think we've laid our lifespan on Clay Street. So in the last few months, we've been working to ensure we found a conducive, comfortable place for the union to have a new office. So we secure a place on Nam Street. That place is secure. So yes, if you saw the staff attempting to park some of our personal belongings or the institutional belongings of the press union, it's correct. This week we are moving, and we have up to this month to be at that Clay Street facility, and we'll be moving to a new facility. So the information is accurate. We hope to have a very comfortable area. We've been working. In fact, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll be moving toward the Sync-Up belt to find out about DSTV, for example. We have television, air conditioner, fitting, room, a fitting office that will have electricity. Because we are doing this interview, this is almost like my sub office. I mean, where we are doing this interview, I'm always here in the morning, right, to work because of electrical problem. But with the new office in Sync-Up, you'll be able now to help us to champion press freedom within the country from a more comfortable area.
Lastly,
so we are asking all of you, including you, to register. You not pay your dues yet. It affects all journalists, media and communication practitioners, and institutions in Liberia. We need to dignify the entity by registering, paying our dues, and ensuring that we connect the PUL to different networks to help us to build the capacity of journalists, but to also fight against people who want to suppress the press in Liberia.
Lastly, the press is challenged in terms of finance. You just taking over, you have been spent whole year, and then you're talking about relocation. Someone will wonder that what we experienced then shouldn't happen because we may just move to this new place and we don't have money to maintain a place. How is this whole arrangement process
like? We secured the place
like?
for 2 years, right? We secured the place for 2 years. Through goodwill, we got some funding. We made that available to the membership in terms of the financial figures. We are also doing registration of journalists, payment of dues. So if you don't pay your due, the press union will be thrown out, right? If I don't pay my due, the press union will be thrown out. So it is incumbent upon everyone in the union, but also the society as a whole, because the press union is a public good or public interest institution. So we secure funding for 2 years.
How much is the money?
No, the rent?
Right.
Yeah, the rent is $5,500 US. We're paying $4,600 to the facility where we were. We are very open and transparent about
Yearly?
this. Yeah, yearly, annually.
Okay.
Yeah, 4,500. The fresh is 4,600.
Okay.
We were paying, but because of the crisis in the union for 2 years, we did not pay. So we've been servicing our debts
Right.
on Clay Street. The new facility, it is there. We secure funding, and we hope that we can be there for 2 years. The next stage is that the anniversary of the union
Right.
on the 30th of September 2025 will be used purposely to raise funds for our headquarters project. You are aware that we have a land on 14th Street. Luckily, we got a deed of
Okay.
the land from the former leadership of President Kofi. So that deed is secure, and that we will now use the anniversary to raise funds. So we are coming to knock at your doors, to knock at your institution door, to knock at the doors of all journalists, media and communication practitioners, people in government, people in civil society, people in the private sector, businesses, and our colleagues who are in the United States, in Europe, Australia, or any part of the world, whether Asia or anywhere you are, will reach out to you to help the union. We are also excited that there's a goodwill out there by some of our colleagues who were journalist people, media practitioners. They are willing to help, but they need a credible system in place to ensure that the resources that we get, those resources are managed in keeping with transparency, accountability, and financial probity, to ensure that nobody will abuse a cent that is given to the PUL. So yes, we will be moving, and so help us with the law, our God, and above us. We believe that within the first quarter of January 2026, something will happen towards our own headquarters. That is a mandate from the membership. And from time to time, we'll update the membership. We hope everyone will come to a meeting. Hopefully this week, if all goes well, we'll dedicate our new facility so that our colleagues in the media will have access to these facilities. And for the best of the public, anyone can visit the Press Union.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanubah. It's always good talking to you.
It's a pleasure.